This video is about car hacking. How to get your car for $0. Yes, I mean literally having a car that costs you nothing. And I'll talk in this video about examples that I've used in my past life where I've gotten my cars for the last 7 years for $0. And how I just bought a new used 2013 Mazda 5 with 55,000 kilometers on it in great condition, like that's like 20,000 miles, almost new, still smells new inside, for $0 here in Canada, and how you can do it anywhere in the world. So let's get to it. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mike Rosehart, and I'm doing a video today on how you can have your car cost you nothing, how you can car hack. It's like my concept of house hacking, where you can live for free. You can also own a car for free. Now, there's a bit of caveat to that, because I don't mean no gas and no insurance unless you learn how to car hack extreme. The basic car hack version is to have no cost for the car. I treat each of my car purchases like a deposit that I look to get back. So let's use examples. This car I just bought, I'm gonna use it because it's a fresh example, I just did it, so no one can say, hey, that was 3 years ago. Today, right now, just bought a car for $12,000 taxes in. So $12,000 roughly, taxes in, bought a car. Great car, good mileage, in great condition, no accidents, clean car proof. I'm looking for a car that has good resale value. So what's going through my mind is, in 2 or 3 years, I like to get a new car every couple of years. You know, cars age and you don't want to own a car forever. There's this myth in like the frugal community that you should buy a car and drive it till it dies. That's not car hacking. That's a bad idea. Don't do that. Plan an exit strategy on your car. This car that I bought, I'm going to drive it and put probably 30,000 kilometers on it over the next 2 or 3 years. It'd be a great car for me and my family. And then I'm going to sell it for exactly what I paid for it. Now, I didn't get a great deal on this car, but I got a car that has good resale value because I looked at the depreciation curve on the car. Every car has a depreciation curve. Often, you've heard the slogans, when you drive it off the lot, it loses a bunch of value right away. Typically, on the average car, it's like 20, 25%. It's gotten less actually with newer cars, and some of the cars we're seeing only drop 15% when you drive them off the lot. But don't buy new, because this strategy works best when you find that arbitrage curve in the depreciation curve of the car. I went and looked up and found out resale values, and I mapped out the resale values of each of like 5 years of the car. You can do this car hacking thing in like one night. I spent probably a total of like 12 hours doing this whole car hacking strategy, and it's worked for me on the last 5 cars. So what I do is I buy a car, drive it, and then sell it before it hits the next depreciation decline on the curve. I own it during the flat periods of depreciation, so my car costs me nothing. It's a deposit that I get back. And barring no major car accidents or anything, you know, of course it's possible you could buy a car that's a lemon. Chances are if you're buying newer cars on the depreciation curve, you're pretty much covered. Mine has 60,000 kilometer powertrain warranty on it, right from the manufacturer. It's like 5 years old. The chances of having any major flaws are very low. I have to also send it to the mechanic, have them look it over, make sure the car is sound and solid, and always do your due diligence in that process. But let's say you bought a car like this one. I'm gonna sell it, like I said, in 2 or 3 years for exactly what I bought it for. That means that over the 2 or 3 years I drove it, my depreciation cost was $0. My cost of the car, I had no car payments. I used cash to buy the car, right? And if you use cash to buy the car, there's no real cost beyond, I guess, opportunity cost of tying up your money. But for the clickbait of the video, this car will cost me $0. I'll get all my money back. It's a deposit. Put a deposit in, and then I get the deposit back. Same is true for the last car I had, a Ford Focus. Actually, we broke even, but you could, if you're smart enough, buy cars at, you know, decent prices, which means you have to look and see what the price of the car is. The first thing you have to say is, okay, what kind of car am I looking for? Find that type of car that you want. I look for something that, for me, I got about almost 30 miles per gallon on this 3-row cedar car. I can fit 6 adults in this car. It's like a minivan. The Mazda 5, if you go check it out, it's like the minivan. It's in great condition, no major accidents, nothing like that. It'll hold its value. The next decline in the depreciation curve for this car is around 90,000 kilometers. So from 55,000 to 90,000 kilometers, there's almost no decrease in the value of the car. Once you roll over 100,000 kilometers, it loses a few $1,000s. So then my cost of owning a car would be maybe $100 a month for that cost of the car. This strategy does require that you buy your car in cash and you put that deposit out. If you finance the deposit, you'll have a small cost of ownership for the car. You'll have the interest payments on the ownership of the car. It's not the worst situation. I personally don't like to put any debt against a bad asset. I love to borrow against real estate. I love to borrow against businesses. I love to borrow against things that produce cash flow that pay the debt for me. Cars produce no income. That's not true. If you put it on Turo, you could rent your car out and it could produce income for you that would cover your costs. So I guess you could just put it on Turo and rent your car out, like Airbnb for your car. That was a cool aside, but let's just assume you didn't do that, and let's just say you decide just to drive your car for yourself, and you don't car share with anyone. Those are other strategies I've seen for car hacking. People will share the cost of the car, but you can get a car for nothing, just a deposit. I don't like to finance my car. Like I said, I don't believe in tying debt to a depreciating asset. Like for instance, your education. Shouldn't get debt for that. That's not an appreciating asset. It produces no cash flow. You buy against a rental property. That's a good buy. That leverage is going to be paid for by the rental income from the property. You buy it against a business that generates dividends. The dividend income will pay the debt for you. If you have to make the debt payments on your own, you probably shouldn't borrow. There, that's the rule of thumb on good debt versus bad debt. I don't know why I got into that in this video, but now you know. Save up the cash to buy the car you need. People are going to jump on here and say, I only have $2,000, Mike. I can't buy that kind of car. Okay, let's go look at a Honda Civic or a Toyota Corolla and find on the depreciation curve a car that's within your price. There are cars on the next depreciation. There's a part on the curve probably for a Civic at like 150,000 kilometers, where it'll hold its value to like 190,000 kilometers. And maybe you just keep cycling. As soon as your car gets to 190,000 kilometers, you sell it while it still retains its value for what you bought it for, and then you buy another one that's maybe 2 years or 1 or 2 years newer because you find a good deal on one that has lower kilometers, and you do the same thing. You got to cycle through your cars. But you know what? We cycle through all of our cars. No one drives a car forever. Cars depreciate and break down. They're not like houses. They don't appreciate. They depreciate.
What?
And so you have to get rid of the car at the right time is what this video is all about. That is car hacking for you. This is just a quick video telling you how you can get your car for free. You just have to be smart about the depreciation curve on a car. So feel free in the comments, if you like this video, smash the like button. If it's the first time you've heard of getting a car for $0 or how to car hack, or if you're not even familiar with house hacking, check out my videos on house hacking, how you can live for free, but you can also own a car for free. So I'm gonna do another video on other strategies I use. I'm a big fan of this, basically put a deposit on something and then resell it for exactly what you bought it for, so the net cost is zero, right? If you always buy like nice things that hold their value, then they cost you nothing. You buy a Rolex for $2,000 that's worth $2,500, and in a year you sell that for more, your Rolex costs you nothing. In fact, you made money on it. So basically think of the idea as like putting out a deposit on everything you buy. That often means you don't buy retail, you don't buy new. Often means you have to buy used. You gotta buy good stuff too. If you buy trash that's had like you buy a car that's had a huge accident before, or you buy a car that's really high on the miles, you're gonna have a hard time reselling that car and getting your money back. So being cheap is not the answer. Being frugal is not always the answer. Sometimes you have to spend a little more. I was looking at another Mazda 5 that had an accident for $8,000, but the resale value wouldn't have been there, and at higher kilometers too. And it made more sense to go with this vehicle because the resale value will be there in 2 years and it'll end up not costing me anything. So you have to think about, what am I currently buying it for? Am I getting an okay deal on it? And then what will it be worth in 2 or 3 years if I drive X amount of kilometers, et cetera, and so forth. So just bring that to your personal finance life. Bring that to your budget, that whole deposit mindset where you're basically putting deposits out and getting them back and thinking about, whenever I buy something, whatever it is, what is the resale value of this item? When I walk out of Walmart, what can I sell this item for? If this lamp's 20 bucks at Walmart, can I sell it on Kijiji or Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist for $15 or $20? If the answer is yes, I go and buy that item new, right? And that happens a lot. Like a lot of the stuff that we buy, we just can get rid of it when we're done with it because we're partly minimalist. So we often will cycle through things, and yeah, you can pretty much have stuff for free. So there you go. The $0 car. This is a long-winded tangent, but I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you've done this kind of car hacking strategy before, or if you understand the depreciation curves on a car, how a car depreciates over time, by the way, there are websites you can go to check that out. Jump in the comments and let me know. I'd like to hear more about your depreciation curve on your car, more about the cars you've been taking down. If you're in a situation where you just bought a new car, probably makes sense to sell it and get something better on the depreciation curve. Maybe not. You have to look at the curve, and it depends on each vehicle. Certain vehicles hold their value better than other ones, and even vehicles that don't hold their value well sometimes will have flat periods on the depreciation curve, or you can arbitrage the depreciation curve. Let's say the average price of a car is here on the curve, and the average price is going to be here in 2 years. You could buy it right here, find a little bit of a deal on it, and then in 2 years sell it for exactly what you bought it for. So you can move outside of the curve. The curve is just an average, but it gives you an idea. So the idea is to buy low and sell high. It's what I do in real estate, it's what I do in stocks, it's what I do in everything that I do. And that's how we are able to live on such a frugal lifestyle. It's how I did that video on how we live on less than the poverty line with a family of 4 in a beautiful neighborhood with a great house, because we're just that economic. We make our dollars stretch because we embrace that mindset. So So thank you all so much for watching. And as always, the secret to unlocking a wealthier you is to learn how to budget by spending less, learn strategies to earn more money like side hustles, and then maximize the returns on the difference. That's it. Those are the 3 levers in your control to build wealth. Optimize your life, everyone. Spend less, earn more, maximize returns. Thank you everyone for watching. They can also be the 3 levers that can destroy your wealth, so make sure you learn how to play them the right way. And we can do some B-roll to show people what it's like. Starts by spending less and consuming less. That's my ask. I'd like to hear more about your depreciation curve on your car. I don't know why I'm talking about that. Get your car for $0. I should get an affiliate sponsorship for that. Anyway, so go get your free car. Go optimize your life. That's what FIRE is. Optimize your life. Optimize your life. Optimize your house. Optimize your car. Look at where you're spending your money and optimize. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm in the blooper reel at this point.
Yes.
Okay, ready? Okay, let's do this really quick.